short.
I love you.
Love is forever.
Will you marry me?
Gracie grew up to become a full-blown hottie. You're talking about my little girl, right?
But you never know what the future holds. Until it hits.
It's a meteor shower.
This new one you're tracking. How big?
It's what we call a global killer. Nothing will survive, not even bacteria. The United States government just asked us to save the world. Anybody want to say no?
Think we'll get hazard pay out of this?
We'll do it. They've made a few requests, though, such as Oscar here's got some outstanding parking tickets. Max would like you to bring back 8-track tapes. I'm not sure if that's going to work. And one more thing, none of them want to pay taxes again. Ever.
United States astronauts trained for years. You have 12 days.
You stick that in me, I'm going to stab you in the heart with it.
On July 1st,
Tell me you've never let anybody down before. Never quit yet. How's that?
Earth's darkest day
How you feeling? Good. Considering I've never been this scared in my entire life.
will be man's finest hour.
I'm marrying you.
Bet you are.
Bruce Willis, Billy Bob Thornton, Liv Tyler, Ben Affleck, Will Patton, and Steve Buscemi.
This is so much fun, it's freaky.
All the time in the world
We have 18 minutes to zero barrier.
is all they've got.
We all gotta die, right? Only guy who gets to do is save the world.
Armageddon. A Jerry Bruckheimer production, directed by Michael Bay.
And welcome to the first new episode of the Movie Dawgs Show here in 2023 on the Movie Dawgs channel. All right, everybody. Got a nice little show ramped up here. And we're going to also just talk about a little few things here and there and get into our new episode for the year. And we're going to talk about the film Armageddon. So, all right, everybody. Well, I just want to say thank you for a great 2022 last year. The show and the channel have been doing very well. Numbers went up. Subscriptions, everybody who subscribed, thank you. Also, I'm going to give a little apology. This episode in particular, was supposed to debut about the middle of December, and I dropped my phone and it broke. So I, as clumsy as I am, but luckily about a month before, I loaded up a bunch of other videos and had some videos debut in December. So I want to thank everybody who watched those. I was unable to, showcase them on other social media outlets. So, but again, I want to thank everybody for a great 2022, and let's make sure that this year, doesn't go off with any more disasters and horrible stuff like that, or anything negative. So let's grow this channel, folks. Join the ride with me. I will be more than happy to. I'll be more than grateful. All right, let's get on to the movie, folks. All right, folks, we're going to talk about Armageddon, 1998's big summer blockbuster. They don't make films like this anymore, just action films in general. This kind of was like, I think this was one of the icing on top of the cake. A lot of great action films. It was produced by Jerry Bruckheimer. Of course, we all know Jerry Bruckheimer's resume when it comes to action films. A lot of great films: Top Gun, The Rock. Even on television, when it came to the CSI shows, there was just so much that Jerry Bruckheimer had. Even after his partner Don Simpson passed away, he carried on, kept the formula going. And this is also one of Michael Bay's earlier films. I think it was his third film, but this was actually his best film. And I know we all relate to Michael Bay when it comes to those Transformers film, but Michael Bay, the man, can really knock out a good action film from time to time. And this is no exception. This, I said, they don't make them like they used to, folks. This starred Bruce Willis, very young Ben Affleck, Liv Tyler, Billy Bob Thornton, Will Patton, Steve Buscemi, Owen Wilson, one of his earlier roles. This was just a great Michael Clark Duncan. I mean, you had a great ensemble cast, and actors, great character actors like David Keith playing Air Force General, and you recognize a lot of faces as the years went on, especially the last 20 years. But and this is one of those first big Super Bowl trailers too. I can remember the Super Bowl trailer that year, and it was. When you're seeing New York, getting pummeled with asteroids, it's nowadays, you kind of, it's kind of ironic. But again, Armageddon was a great film. It just had all the characteristics of a great ensemble cast, a great, a script that was written by a lot of people, including J.J. Abrams. I guess you got to give the guy credit for some good things. And then, of course, you got the Aerosmith song that was that they did. It was their first big #1 hit, blockbuster hit, even though they had a lot of hits. This was their first #1 single. And I forgot the name of the lady who wrote that song, but she made a lot of money off that song. Just not Aerosmith alone and everything. A lot of people covered that song, and she made a lot of money. I'm sure she was still living on the residuals of I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And it's a great song to top it off. It's just a great written song. But and you got to give it up to Liv Tyler. She was she basically was the only girl in the boys club, and she held her own. This is one of those, her first really big breakout blockbuster roles. A couple years before she was in before the Lord of the Rings trilogy. But she really it had all its mix of great performances, drama, action, comedy, suspense, a little bit of horror, when it comes to the asteroid, coming after Earth, that it's about the size of Texas, and it's going to land. And also has a great little narration by the late great Charlton Heston, and as I said, this movie just had it all. It was just wound tight. One little thing about this movie is that it actually is kind of the idea was stolen. There was another movie that came out that same year called Deep Impact, which I do recommend you all watch as well. It's a great movie. Did not have the big box office as this, even though it was itself a success. But somebody was pitching that idea in the screenplay, and a Disney executive just happened to be there and writing notes and brought it over, I guess, when they moved over to Disney, and basically stole the idea. I don't know of any lawsuits. I'm sure there had been some type of lawsuits brought in or something, but anyway, nonetheless, you still got two great films out of a single idea. But again, I mean, Bruce Willis, back then, he was doing a movie for Disney, or during Disney's production, or Touchstone Pictures, which was a Disney product at the time. Was working on a film. I can't remember the name of it, but it was just not working, and it just, the development was in shambles. So to prevent being sued or prevent anything else, he took a pay cut, and the profits of that kind of got washed away or written off in a tax write-off, and Bruce Willis did Armageddon. And it's a smart move that he did, because this movie was a big hit in 98, and it was, as I said, it's one of the last big blockbusters that, that really came out. I mean, so we still had some big blockbuster films, but, this one, just for some reason, it just had a special aura around it. Again, you had a lot of upcoming actors that were in this film. Ben Affleck, we all know, became a great director in his own right. I guess he's currently Batman. I don't know what the hell's going on when it comes to the DC universe right now, but I don't think anybody knows. But I had so much fun watching this film. I mean, it was so anticipated, and I actually went to go see it in theaters, and you got to you see, really, it's basically, I guess you can describe Top Gun Maverick right now as a very patriotic film, but at the same time, it was a world embracing one another, and because they know that time is limited regardless, and whether it's illness or natural disasters or man-made disasters. But I was I was so intrigued on how structured this film was, and how it was just able to work so brilliantly when it came to giving us this, great ensemble piece. And again, I can't, say enough about the acting in this film. It was just, it made you really love these characters. And hell, I would have been happy if they had made a sequel. I know a lot of the characters in the film didn't make it towards the end, but I think, even the minor characters, you liked them, and it just worked. Again, Bruce Willis, a lot of people, always complain later on, especially in the 2000s or the 2010s, or especially, most of the, last 10 years, maybe 15 years, people complain that Bruce Willis has basically been texting it in. He wasn't phoning in. He's been texting. He's just taking the money. But sadly, the guy is retired from acting because of illness, and it's going to suck not, having John McClane in space or any other things. But I have to say, Bruce Willis is one of my favorite actors, and I've always enjoyed him throughout the 80s on Moonlighting and the Die Hard films. And the guy also took chances. He did a lot of he took a lot of chances in the 90s when it came to his using his star power to make other movies that are lesser known or low budget films get a turn of profit. So, but I, for one, the soundtrack for this film, the music itself was just, there was some new tracks here and there, but they used a lot of old stuff from ZZ Top, and even Aerosmith used some of their old material on top of the I Don't Want to Miss a Thing. And then, of course, the score was absolutely awesome. I love the score. Right now, the person that did the scores, the name is eluding me. You have to forgive me. I'll look it up here for a moment. But it all worked. Trevor Rabin, I believe. And the music just worked. It just had a great, cinematic theme. Of course, the usage of a lot of the Michael Bay was always able, and especially Jerry Bruckheimer, was always were able to get cooperation when it came to the military and NASA, stuff like that. Those branches of the armed forces, they were always able to get that and really show how astronauts trained. And you saw that before, but they really made it. They stylistically made it look even more cool, and you could tell that they were actually in those planes being spin around and feeling the G forces pulling them out, and it all worked. You could tell that there was a lot of realism used when it came to the performances, when it came to the training montage. And you could tell everybody just seemed to have fun. I mean, even Bruce Willis, I'm sure he was having some fun. And I can remember, the interviews he did with Ben Affleck, that, they were goofing around. They had a fun time, even though Ben Affleck is a Democrat. Bruce Willis was a known Republican. It proves that they can get together and have a good time. So, of course, Liv Tyler is beautiful as ever. I mean, you look at her, you knew that's Steven Tyler's daughter, and she was her that talked him into doing the song for the movie. So, and again, the music video for that song was just amazing and epic all of itself. It's got to be up there in the top 10 best songs for a film. It's just one of those great movie moments that you and memories that you have in theaters. And if anybody hasn't seen it yet, go see it, on any digital platform or even physical copy. I had the Crichton Collection. It was the first DVD I ever owned. And the Crichton Collection's a 2 discs, edition. It had a supplemental material, a second disc. And, I had that, that was literally the first DVD I ever owned. And, still have it to this day. It's been almost 20 years since I purchased my first DVD. And that's even hard to believe. But again, I highly recommend everybody, sit down, take a chance, and watch Armageddon. It is such a fun film. I can watch this many times. Introduced it to my kids. My kids loved it. And I have my son, he turned 19 recently, and we watched it last month, and he just loved it. He said, Michael Bay made this film. I'm like, yeah, Michael Bay made some great films. You just, Transformers really kind of soured everybody's taste about Michael Bay. And then my 2 youngest, they absolutely, just went crazy. My 10-year-old, she was like, Daddy, I love this. This is fun. I want to watch it again. We ended up watching it again for a second time. So anyway, folks, again, I want to thank everybody. I mean, everybody for a great 2022. Thank you for being patient. I'm sorry for the 3 weeks that I had no choice, but that I was off of YouTube. But I want to thank everybody who did watch my videos that did premiere. And I hope you guys, give them a chance, watch again, and especially this one. So, again, big shout out to my sponsors. I want to thank Tattoo Tony, brother. I hope you're doing well. Love you, man. And I also want to give out a shout out to another one of my sponsors who started sponsoring last year, River Monster Comics in Denellen. Josh, I love you, man. I have absolute blast when I go to River Monster Comics and Collectibles. Don't forget to support us on Patreon. Go to patreon.com/OneDogsMovies. And also check out the Perfect Spot Tattoos. They're off of 2500 Highway 44 in Inverness. Just look up Tattoo T or Tattoo JT on Facebook and on Instagram. And also check out Tattoo Sarah Ritter on Tattoo Sarah _Ritter on Instagram and on TikTok. And also we got a TikTok and an Instagram started up. Do check them out. And again, I also wanted to give a shout out to Hemp Pantry. Check them out on hemppantry.net. They are located on the same highway in Inverness. And they also have a location in Crystal River. I have a little video that's called Support, and now a word from our sponsors on this channel. Go to that list. You'll see all my sponsors on there. Well, folks, that is all the time that I got. I want to thank you all again, and Happy New Year. Let's really make the Movie Dawgs YouTube channel go into orbit and blast off into new regions and make the best of things, folks. I am so grateful. All right, this has been the Movie Dawgs Show. Thanks for watching, and again, folks, please keep on watching. Bye.